Hey, good evening. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? I am out of character tonight, so y'all just gonna bear with me tonight, okay? Y'all promise? I'm gonna take that as a yes. Y'all little pinky promise. I don't play about my pinky promises. No? Okay. Don't worry about it. We'll get into it later. Um, so welcome back. It's the second show. The B Mix. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all already know the deal. This is the place for the forgotten, the unheard, the unseen, the muted, the everything in between, right? So if you fall anywhere in between there, baby, it's for you. You know why? Because it's for me. And I'll tell y'all right now, I done been through some things, child. So listen, we're gonna get into this thing. We're gonna figure this out as a family because I need y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and say that at the beginning of this show because I definitely need y'all today. Okay. Um, so come on in. You already know all raw material, authentic and organic. Getting into it this week. Now I got some things to say before we really get there, but I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to get your juices flowing tonight because we're gonna get into figuring out what our demands are as a community. Like we just gonna we got to y'all we got to convene. Okay, we got to do this. We got to figure it out. We need to talk about it. We need to be clear. We need to set an agenda. Okay, like we need to do this. Like right now. Let me tell you why. Nope. I ain't gonna tell y'all why yet. I just want y'all to get your juices flowing first. So as you're listening, as you are sharing and liking and telling more people to tune in, get the drop in different things that you feel as though within our community that we need to make our official demands. Like, okay, like we really need to come up with a list. We need to write it up, keep a note of it, something like that, and keep it all together. So I'm not gonna get into why just yet. Because like I said, I have some things to say. So we're talking about demands. Before we get to things about our community, um, I need us to back up a taste. I need to talk about some shit I'm dealing with right now. Prime example. I have a 3-year-old daughter. Y'all pray for me. Those of us that are in the midst of this, shutdown, quarantine, COVID, corona, China virus, whatever people are calling it, baby. Those of us that are in the midst of this with a child or children, I salute y'all with multiple children. Lord have mercy. But at least with a child, especially as a single parent, oh God, I felt a quickening in my spirit just now because we are not okay. We're not okay. Let me tell y'all why. I'm going to tell y'all because y'all don't know. Y'all don't even feel me. Y'all don't know what I'm saying right now. Y'all don't know that. So it's becoming a habit, apparently. My baby girl, okay? A baby girl. We've been using the potty for a little minute now, okay? Like going on 2. So she's 3 now, 3 and in charge, okay? My little 3 major. Sis, it's been trying me lately, okay? Again, we've been using the potty since before we turned 2, okay? Follow me, y'all. Don't lose me, okay? This the girl lately. We've been having a few accidents, okay? Because when we potty trained, we were not having accidents. Like we just jumped. Once we got there, honey, we were good. We were good. Were as in past tense. Not now, y'all. Not now. I'm not okay. And it's okay not to be okay. Okay. Shout out to Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Woo, woo, go July. I'm not okay. Let me continue to tell y'all why, because I might drop a thug tear tonight, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie to you, okay? Hey y'all, hey Miss Burton, hey Britton, Press, what's happening? Hey y'all, thank y'all for watching. Get into why I'm upset though, y'all. Y'all see I switch in and out. I'm crazy. I'm losing it. Baby girl lately, okay, we like I said, had a few accidents. The P, okay, we're gonna get there, okay. I don't understand how sis only she prefers apparently to piss in my bed. Not big piss. And Marty Moore, mama's bed, okay? Y'all don't know many a night sister got up in the middle of the night, came in my bed, and I had to push her back out because she came to pee in my bed and went back to her bed. What kind of is that? Oh, that's not the moral story. I want to tell y'all what happened most recently. Boom. Baby girl wants to use the potty lately, but she wants to use it without her seat. Okay, lately. All right. You're a big girl now. All right. From a child dropping the deuce in the toilet. It don't go straight down to where the water, y'all. Where the water is cooking. Nope. It drops. Let me go back. So she goes to potty. Says, oh, I finished. Boom. As I'm meeting her at the bathroom to come, handle all the rest of the business to get us up out of there. She's meeting me. Well, underwear is pulled up. So I'm like, oh, okay, you just pee. Okay, let's go back in here and let's take care of things. And I get to the toilet and realize we pee-peed and we duty bopped. Okay, we duty. It dropped to where the water don't push it, y'all. I ain't signed up for this shit. Okay. I ain't never had to reach in the toilet and push no doo-doo shit down in the waters to make it flush. I ain't never had to do that in my life. I used to be hard up, y'all. I used to be so hard up. Like, I went hard in these streets, okay? I did. But a 3-year-old is whooping my ass right now. Yeah. Ooh, let me get that, because I ain't gonna drop no thuds here tonight. I'm telling y'all right now, parenthood is taking me out. Okay? I ain't never in my life, bro. I've been washing my hands ever since, like 29 times a minute. I'm sick of it. Okay. Now that that's out. But if I bring all of that up, what am I demanding? Like, am I demanding some change or something? In this case, in parenthood, you can't demand shit. Like, you just gonna deal with it. Yeah, you're not gonna get around it. Like, it's just, that was it. She even rooted me on. Good job, mommy. Yay, you clean up mess. Yay. I don't know who you think I am, but I'm a thug. So there are no demands that you can make in parenthood, right? But as we move right along, not yet, y'all. We're not at the movement just yet. I want y'all to keep thinking. Remember, I need y'all juices flowing and let me know, what do you think our demands as a community are? Like, what we need to make that list now. We need a standing list. But before we get there, let's talk about dating. How do you make demands in dating? Okay, I gotta be real with y'all. If y'all ask me, I've been messing up like a lot. Like, I feel like lately I've been like, I don't know if the inner me is trying to sabotage something good. I don't know. But again, how can I make demands if I'm not, handling things on my end, right? Let's get into that. So what am I talking about? Okay. So I've, been intentionally dating more recently, right? Like, for real. Like, I was intentionally dating, like, as of some time recently, but for real, most recently. Fucking up. I just been mean. I've been just moody, bitchy. I've been just all of it. So how do I make demands if that's how I am, right? See, I don't know if y'all catch what I'm going yet. We got to clean some things up before we can make our demands. So we're gonna make this list tonight, but we got to get some things in order before, as a people, we make our demands. Y'all, it just has to happen. How do we become clear with ourselves? Like, how do we do that? Anybody got any ideas? How do you clear things up and tell yourself, like, you ever sit in the mirror and be like, listen, Julia, you gonna pull your shit together? Like, don't nobody do that? I do it a lot. I do it all the time. I have to talk to Benia because, one, I have to get some really good advice because she has great advice. But I be having to get my shit together, like, for real. Prime example. I'm talking to my sister, right? And this was right before he and I were about to go, like, on I don't think it's the first official date, but probably. So, like, one of the first dates. And I was trying to talk myself out of it. Like, what did I say? I think I said something. It was a little windy and I planned to wear a dress or skirt or something. And I was like, it's windy, it's drizzling. When I tell y'all, she got me together. And then I went to go tell the story again. And they were like, not when you got a protective style. Like, girl, you got locks in. Why are you worried about it drizzling? Like, what you doing? Yeah, I've been fucking up. Like, come to dating, y'all, I've been messing up real bad. Matter of fact, y'all want to hear a little story? Here you go. So boom, it's actually like a medley. Okay, it's a couple different stories, right? I talked about this sometime before, but y'all ain't heard it, so want to hear? Here you go. Okay, so before, more recently, right, during quarantine though, But like during quarantine, I delved into like the online dating thing, baby. Okay. Woo. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody been online dating? Y'all gonna talk to me? Y'all gonna talk real to me? Don't lie, because somebody been on here. Okay. Y'all been on these little apps and stuff like that. We should have talked about this. Just like we're gonna get into talking about our list of demands as a people and for our community, we need to really get into talking about this online dating thing, baby. Like, what's going on? Nobody told me. Just like nobody told me about the doo-doo shits as a parent. Nobody told me that, bro. Nobody told me that you would just be disgusted every day by something that your child does. I ain't never had to reach in the toilet and push the doo-doo down. I'm traumatized by it a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, and before I go on to the dating thing, so apparently I tries to do not, as parents, don't even think to complain to your parents about what your child is doing. I've learned that because I was perfect as a child. Like I was. Like, I don't. But somehow I get to telling this story to my parents yesterday, I think. Child, and they both holler some apple don't fall too far from. No. They're like, well, you did it worse. Apparently, let them tell it. I poo-pooed in it too. No, they don't even sound like me. No. Then apparently they're gonna take it a step further. That's why I really don't believe it. Look around. I'm only gonna tell y'all real quick. Apparently I used to like squish it and like play with it. That's disgusting. And that don't look like, is this a face that would do that? No, it's not. So no, I didn't do that. So they don't tell you the things that you really need to know when you're preparing for parenthood. And definitely, once things happen, don't even look to your parents. You got to tell other people that's going to feel your pain. So anywho, jumping back to dating. So about like people feeling your pain that I didn't mess up a lot. So here's some stories that y'all just might want to hear about. And so that way y'all can really feel why I need to get my shit together and can't make any demands when it comes to dating. So, okay, let's go back. The very first one I met on like online dating, right? Was a 33-year-old, right? And he mentions like, oh, I used to be a musician and oh no, I'm sorry, that he is a musician, a professional musician, has his own business. Okay, cool. Plays churches and stuff. Wow, okay, some Jesus. Okay, that's cute. Then, because of everything going on right now, like he's out of work. Okay, cool, I get that. His 3 children, the youngest being 2 months old. Two like months. So just like 1 and 2 of months, not years. Okay. That's different. But the way I'm rocking is I'm not that vested yet. So I'm not, I ain't gonna jack you up just like my shirt trying to jack me up. I ain't gonna jack you up and tell me, oh my God, I can't believe. Okay, because in my mind I already friend zoned you. Like that's it. Just, you're a friend. And that's just how it's gonna carry. Okay, so that was that. All I'll say is for right now to pin in this story, child, at least he told me up front. Okay, let's move on. There's another one, child. Little black rabbit. Just that's the only way I can remember him. Like he tells, oh, pull up. Okay, cool. Okay, all right. We ain't quarantine. I guess I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm kid free right now. You never know how to act when kid free. Okay, pull up. Oh, pull up on the block. Okay, I thought you did construction. Oh, you do. You just do this part time. Y'all know I already lost interest. Like it just happened. Child. 2 things that turn me off of Robert. We ain't got to stay on Robert long, trust me, because the next one is the cake. One was your breath is hot. Hot, and you at some point you tried to kiss on me. No, thank you. 2 is that your phone lit up, and so beforehand I didn't know that you had children, which it's inevitable these days. It's fine. But that's not what behooved me. What behooved me was is that when the phone lit up, the kids were ugly. I ain't gonna lie. Like that's one of my things. Like I just was always like, I don't want to date nobody with kids because if they not ugly, if they ugly, or if they just not good people, like I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to deal with it, right? So I was out. Like I never called Rob again. I remember it was like a message on, you could have just told me, right? So in that case, demands didn't even need to be made because my point was made. Follow me then, okay? All right. So then here's the next one. Him, that was just, it started off so nice. Just said all the right things initially, just, straightforward, seemed like he was dating intentionally. Um, and so, child, this is it. Child, so it seemed like he was dating intentionally and all that. So he'd ask, like, I would like for us to, meet up and, just this week, if you don't mind. And I know, we're in quarantine and all that. So, if you want to just do a Walmart date, okay, I like the way you're talking, sir. That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Or the other option was, and if you want to, come to my house, like I'll cook dinner and, we can watch movies like in my living room. Like, I don't want you to feel like I'm, pressing for sex or anything that's making you uncomfortable. Like, okay, let's go. That sounds cute. So I went with that option because it had food, whatever. And so that was fine. Beautiful date. Like, came over. We had already talked about the movies prior to, like, I planned that out. Had like chosen a few like different movies was going to be the lineup. Had asked like my favorite dessert, like just different things, like all the days leading up to it, like planned out each piece of it. So, okay, a little effort. Okay, I like it. And then it went to shit. And so the date, like I get there, the movie's already set to push play, sit down on the couch, brought wine and wine glasses. That's sweet. Okay. And they were good wine glasses, y'all. Ladies, these things out here are getting good wine glasses. I mean, come to find out later on, it was his roommate / brothers or whatever. But neither here nor there. I still give him the credit. Like, that was cool. Okay. So then, dinner. Oh, you want to eat? Okay, cool. Eat dinner. Just the table set. Music playing. Like just nice. Little candle lit. Like, that was nice. I was really. we gotta step our cookies up, y'all. It's me. I gotta step mine up. Because I was actually, of all the things, I was actually very impressed by the fact that what he made like Alfredo, and some fish, but then went in the microwave and in a container and then covered with aluminum foil. Had scrimps. Come on, shrimp in the microwave now with the aluminum cover. I said, that's what I did. These kids are really just doing things. So that's what excited me, because it's the little things for me. It's just small details that get me going. And so that was fine. Okay. And so we sit, like I said, sit down, eat dinner. Okay, go ahead to watch a movie. All right, fine. Fast forward, I go to pick up my dog. So again, date was really good. Like, just, really nice. He had to go to work anyway, so it was able to end early enough. I didn't want to be there too long anyway. Okay, cool. Even leaving, was like, oh, pulling off. Like, oh, stop here, come here, hug, give me a hug. Okay, that's cute. All right, whatever. All right, now go away. So I go to pick up my daughter from family. Family gets to asking me, like, where were you? Oh, what's going on? And right? Somebody that doesn't even have a Facebook account somehow found him, like found his whole Facebook page and was like, this him? Oh, okay. I hadn't done that yet, y'all. I'll be very honest. I tried to like just give it a clean playing field. Like, okay, we're going to try this out without me like going all on their Facebook and Whew, child. Now that this old can is opened, I go home, put baby to bed. All right, well, I'm up. Let me just go to the Facebook. All I'll say is, early in our conversations, we talked about he's the father of 2, right? So I'd ask like, oh, you have 2 boys. Oh, how old are they? The message read the number 5, the letter N, the number 2. Okay, so 5 and 2. Okay, hey, 5 and 2. All right, cool. As I'm going on this Facebook, I see. Okay, I see this is probably the 5-year-old. Okay, hey, handsome. Then there's a 2-month-old baby. Pictures of that baby all up on the page too. Okay then. Who yo? Papa, who this woman? Like, who this? Yeah. So I had this little jewel, in my pocket. So we get to talking that next day. Okay, cool. Y'all, I'm too old. Tell me we are past the age of pulling up to somebody's job and like talk to them outside the job. Oh, Lord, but I did that or whatever that next day. Okay, because we started off well. And so, like, how, why is it that it takes like all like you to feel something, like people to feel something to be able to like basically just be truthful? Like, what is that? Why is it so hard? So let's think about that when we talk about demands. Anybody that's joining in now, we're going to get to the point of making our list of demands for our community, for the culture. Like, what are we asking for? But right now, I'm talking about being able to make some demands and date and child. And right now, I can't make any because it's on me. But as we talk about it, like, if we're not being truthful and forthcoming, even when we get to the conversation of with the movement, hey Chris, with the movement, then how are we even able to make any demands? Like, we have to get our shit together, like, clean up our end first and then, make our demands and move forward. So even back to this dating story. So, okay, that's it. We're sitting outside, we're talking, we get into, and he gives me like this panty breath, like panicky breath, panting. What's the word? Y'all let me say panty breath. Now, come on. Ain't nobody correct me. Y'all the worst. And so I'm like, oh, wait a minute. He breathing like my ex did before he told me that he was still married. So hold on. Like, what he finna say? Like, I know what this breath sounds like. What's going on here? This little breathing pattern. So he confesses, okay, actually, my 2-year-old is 2 months old. Okay, cool. But then he's still breathing after that because I give the whole spiel of like, I take one for the culture, right? Okay. Hey, Janelle. So I give the whole, I'm taking one for the culture for like, okay, I don't want to discredit you, for the fact that you thought to tell me that, the 2 month, the who I thought was the 2-year-old is actually a 2-month-old. I guess I get it. You would think that you would scare somebody away if you really like them and all that. And I tell you right now, I ain't popping no collar or to no horn, but they love the kid. I don't know what's going on. Like, they be like, oh, I just think you're it, and be doing too much and then lose me. I don't know. Anywho, and so he like goes in. I go in to say that, like, okay, I appreciate it. Like, just because I already know by the fact that you didn't hit this information, this ain't about to work out. But I want it to be to where whoever you deal with, in the future, that you don't think like, oh, I told Benia the one time I was truthful and all that, and then it went to shit and I lost her. So I ain't never gonna do that again. No. I'm looking out for the next one. This is how we look out for the next one, y'all. This is what we do. Like, you got to talk it through these niggas. Like, I don't know how else to tell you. Ladies, gents, everybody, whoever you're talking to and dealing with, you have to just, we out of the age, y'all. We in Corona. Like, if Corona don't make you want to be truthful about everything, I don't know what else gonna take. Like, just ugh. So I do all that spiel, but he, like I said, he's still like breathing. Like, it's still something else to say. Okay, sir, what's going on? Oh, and I got a third one on the way that's about to be induced on Monday. Oh, okay then. So you got another one, like another fresh one, like the one that's cooking in the pot. Okay, I know that was confirmation. This definitely ain't gonna work. And it goes on and on. Apparently, he done dated somebody at my church. I know that. No, thank you. Next, thank you, Lord, for getting me out of that one, right? So there was even another one, like on, like just through regular like Facebook. Send me a message. We was talking. I thought that even could have been the one or whatever. Not next, because he goes to me. Fine. So I go through all of those, and then there was even more. Like, there's more that I'm gonna get into at another date because not yet, y'all. Like, y'all not ready for that conversation just yet. Y'all just gotta stay tuned. We're gonna get there. I might do like some more, I don't know, horrible dating stories sometime soon. I was gonna try to push it back and wait to, build y'all up to that, but y'all need to know these things. But all of that to say, that's just supposed to give you a taste of the fact that I got to be able to make, I got to get my shit together in order to be able to make demands. I have no place, and I'm not in a place where I should be like sabotaging anything. Like, something good then came to me, y'all. So y'all hold me accountable that I don't need to ruin it. Yeah. So if you have, because I'm curious now, if you have any horrible dating, especially during Corona, that's what I'm mostly interested right now, because I know everybody got some horrible dating stories. But if you have any horrible, or let's just go with the word horrible because mine were, and there are more. But if you have any horrible like dating experiences that you want to share, please call in 443-642-9403. Again, 443-642-9403. Or comment all up on here because I want to hear about it, because it can't be me. Y'all have got to let me know that it's not just me. Yep, it's true. Misery loves company. Like that little bitter part of me is just like, yep. I need to know that somebody else went through at least something like what I'm going through or what I have gone through. Right. So, yeah. Next, because I'm over that. I'm over dwelling on the dating thing, y'all. I can't wait to tell you the rest of it because, again, there's more, but it ain't for today. It's just not for today. No. So again, if we have been talking about, if we're making demands, as far as our community, right? As far as for the culture, how do we do that? Like, how do we get to the place where we are clear about what we want and what we need as a people? How do we clearly relay and convey, those demands? Who is our audience? Yeah, we got some things to talk about, y'all. Who is our audience? And then that already tells you then how you, hi Nina. Hey Nina girl. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Hey Shola. And so how do we get to that place, right? How do we, make sure that, what it is that we want and that we need. And then we need to even really define our wants, our desires, and our needs. Like we got to be clear about everything before we, if we're preparing this letter, right? This letter and list of demands, we got to be very clear about before we even send this off, right? Because if you're going to send an email, you can't send it unless you, put who it's addressed to, correct? So, I mean, again, we have to be clear about our audience, clear about what it is that we want and what it is that we need, and how do we align the two. I'll be honest, in some of my prayers, I always ask God to be like, okay, listen, Lord, now I'm the one that gets on your nerves the most. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, I will never let that go. I am sure of all the people on God's green earth, I'm the one that gets on his nerves the most. Like, I know my guardian angel smokes cigarettes. I know for sure. It's a definite. Like, I know my guardian angel sitting here just like this, like, at the staff meetings that they have been having, right? When they reporting out and letting everybody know, like, hey, who I'm guarding, boom, they doing okay. And when my guardian angel shows up, they probably showing up late, ashy, coffee, all jittery. They got fugs hanging out. I don't know what else they on, but I know my guardian angel looks rough. Yeah, I know that. So part of my prayers though are like, Lord, can you, prepare me for, what it is that, whatever there is that's, coming, but help me to align my desires. And because I already know you have my needs. You meet all of my needs. That's just who you are. That's what you do. But my wants, right? When I'm bringing you my wants, Lord, and my desires, because you align them with your will. Like, just don't even let me waste your time, waste my breath to ask you, for anything that just shouldn't be, because I didn't wasted many, many years. Anybody else? Anybody else feel like y'all wasted time? Like just asking for stuff that shouldn't be. Like it just no, it's just me. Hey Shola. Y'all in bed. I knew it. It's okay. Thanks, Pooh. Love you too. Like, I just need to know. It can't just be me that has wasted so much time. Again, when we get to talking about making our list of demands, because we got to make sure that when you ask something, or even when you speak, right? When you speak, you want to, here's a B tip of the week. When you speak, you want to make sure that you are just like we are, picky about, how the ladies say, we picky about my man, or the man, I'm picky about, the chick I want to be with. I'm picky about the job I want. I'm picky about this and picky about that. Are we picky about, what it is that we actually, want, like that we need? Are we picky about who we want to hear us? Again, back to our audience. Like, who is our audience when we make these list of demands? This list of demands, like, what are we doing here, right? So how do we make sure that, when I speak, that this is an audience that will actually hear me, that this will be received well? Like, I never want to speak knowing that I'm speaking to a brick wall. Anybody by show of hands spoken to a brick wall before? I'm like a pro at it. Like this is like the thing that it's almost like what I was put here to do. I don't know. I don't know how many brick walls I've spoken to in the past, and like what happens? What's the result? Nothing. And I'm the person that, again, being picky, that when I speak, I look for it to be some result. Like there has to be some solution. We can't just talk, round and round. Like, no, I actually want something, out of it. I hate to say like an email that, after several attempts, of reaching out, yada, 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 to no avail. I hate that. Like, what did I type for? What did I call you for? What did I text you for? What did I see you and speak to you for? What? If we're not going anywhere. So now moving into like our list of demands. Yeah, thank you, Miss Burton. Okay, Shamika, spoken to a brick wall. Like what? And then what? What's the feeling after that? Did it get anywhere? Which we already know the answer to that. But how does that go after you speak to a brick wall? You even feel stuck and at a standstill, like nothing happened, nothing at all. Um, so like I said, getting into like our demands for our community. Like y'all gotta post up now. I want to know. Like you gotta drop comments. You gotta call in. Like I said, 443-642-9403. Call in and tell me what should be on our list of demands. Like we need a running list because I'm pretty sure it's a pretty long list. And then because this is not the end all be all. So once we make this list, that's not it. That's not once we make our list of like, for our community, our list of demands, we don't just send that off. Like this is the rough draft. We have to continue to have these conversations. But this is where you start. This is how you start to brainstorm for any great idea, great project, great anything. You have to start in the brainstorming phase. Like y'all see, I done talked about everything under the sun before now. And that's a part of my brainstorming phase of like process. Like I got to get it all out because I'm thinking of like, okay, if I'm asked for demands over here as a community, how do I ask for demands even in my dating life? Okay, how do I ask for demands, of the priority of my life, which is being a mother? Like how, right? So again, we're in the brainstorming phase. So what's up? What's on the list, y'all? What are we looking for? What are we demanding? What are we expecting? What do we need before we even get into what we want? What do we need as a community? What do we need from ourselves? What do we need to do before, again, like I was saying before we even really make a list of demands? How do we make sure that we're in alignment, like that we have ourselves together? We have a lot. I love it. I love everybody that's starting to show now that they're in the wave of like the spirituality and a line of chakras and all of that. Like I'm not well versed, on all of that. But might actually get somebody on here to talk about that one day. I like that. I like that idea. Just because like a lot of people I see just on my timeline alone are, really into it. And so that's the whole purpose of to align your chakras and align, your energy in order to be able to, take on the world. Right. So how do we do that with this list that we're, coming up with? Like as a community, I would think that, first and foremost, we want respect. But then it's the beauty of and the power of being self-reflective. I'm always talk about that because I'm a very self-reflective person, right? So if we ask for respect, we have to ask ourselves as a community, as a people, are we respectable and are we respectful? If respect is on our list of demands. Y'all get me? Like it's in my mind, I'm seeing like, okay, there's a list, there's a word that we're coming up with, but then it's like two like wings from there that break off to say okay, are we doing this? We got to be able to check that off, and we got to be able to check that off too in order to make that demand. This is why I believe that they, whoever they are out here, that we always refer to, that they don't want to take us seriously for many reasons, but also because we don't have our shit together. And it's okay because we just have to acknowledge it in order to work on it and get past it. Like it's just okay, because I hope that everybody is seeing, because I've talked about this so much, just all over the place of sharing that there's a post that goes around, but it's really just a saying that a lot of us say anyway. But it was really like, it's along the lines of like, if I don't, help myself, then how am I going to help somebody else? And like pouring from an empty cup, like all around that. And so it's like, well, how do we do that? And it all goes back to working on self, that I can't expect to, and the phrase goes, I can't expect to heal because I pretended that I was okay. It is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Like, we're 9 days into this month. Has anybody done anything to take care of self? Like, has anybody, made an appointment to therapist? I'm guilty of it. I have not. Child, I can't tell you less. I'm talking about that. Probably gonna call her because I just said that out loud. Like, there's no way. And I'll tell you right now, if we think that we don't need it, come on, y'all. You're sadly mistaken. I'm just here to tell you, as your Black sister, as the mother to all Mama B, like the aunt to all Aunt Nene, like no, y'all, come here, beloved, come on, close. Mm-mm, mm-mm, that's not true. If you are breathing, you need therapy, you need counseling. Okay, Miss Burton, yes, clean your house before you try cleaning others. That's good, y'all. Come on, ahead, Shamika. That's exactly right. That's exactly it. Clean your house before you try to clean others. And then, if we really think about that, I like that. So, do we? What do we even? Why? When does it become I don't know, the objective, right? To be like, I need to clean. So if we're just going with that, example, right? That analogy. When does it become something that, I need to clean, somebody else's house? Like, when do you make that judgment to say, like, I got to go over there and help them with this? Because when you make up in your mind of they just, aren't doing right, or they just aren't doing how I would do it or something, like, when does that become okay? Like, why is that okay? And then it goes back to, well, if you're going to go set forth to do that, then at least make sure, yours is together too. That goes for me physically, though, child. I will leave up out of here and just stay at people's house and help with them and help that, and then come back home like, oh, Lord, I ain't washed clothes since the 90s. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm lying, but whatever. It's like the 80s. Moving on. But that's the perfect way to put that. And if we all keep that into perspective of, again, clean your house before you try cleaning others, that's it. Stay, like, remain humble, stay, in a place of, self-reflection, stay where you need to be to get yourself together. Yes. Awesome. If I can read this out, can I share this? Thank you, Shamika. So just came from therapy today. I might not be okay, but I am working on it. I love that. Practice makes progress, not perfection. Y'all hear these jewels? Come on here, Shamika. Listen, you're absolutely right. That's exactly it. Like, that's just it. Like, I don't have to say nothing else to that. It speaks for itself. First of all, I commend you, and I am so happy that you went to therapy today, because I've used COVID-19 as an excuse. I was gonna say example, but as an excuse, not to even call her. A couple different things. One, I know she was out on maternity leave, so I was like, oh, leave her, and hopefully she didn't rush back, to work to hear about people's problems when she has this fresh baby and yada yada yada. Like, and I've just been dealing with my stuff. Like, I've been dealing with my stuff better than I know I've dealt in the past. So I kind of use that as an excuse too, like, not to put forth so much effort in, making an appointment and going to therapy. But I am a strong advocate. I mean, strong advocate for anybody that is breathing to please seek professional help. I have said in the past that, if it starts with, because I believe everything's a process, we know that. So to get anybody to even consider like therapy and seeking like professional help, if it helps to start with speaking to a select, individual, or a select few individuals in your circle, in your support system that you can trust. That's another thing. So again, this speaks to when we prepare for our list of demands, that, when you select this person, because a lot of people have this hurt of, I opened up, and that has scarred a lot of people from ever even going to go speak to a stranger about their issues. So I get it. I respect it. I hear you. I acknowledge that. But that's just not the case. Like, that's still it's no longer an excuse, to be so honest. If I can be so transparent about that, it's no longer an excuse, y'all. It's no longer an excuse that, we say, truthfully. Prime example, I believe that it's in comparison to how people talk about their church hurt, right? So church hurt can range, like, or is a range. It's a range of different things, as far as that you went to church and something happened there, physically, to you, something was said, you felt disrespected, you felt betrayed, something of the nature, you felt forgotten, unheard, unseen. Because I am a proud Christian, proud Christ believer, right? Can't stand church folk. I said it. If you fall into the category of church folk, and we can define church folk if we need to, y'all, but I think we know what I'm talking about. Like, the people just all in the trauma and the drama and no, I'm here for my spirituality, for my, spiritual feeling, all of that. I'm here for business. And so again, speaking to when we make this list of demands, that we have to stay focused. We have to stay focused, especially when we're talking about canceling certain businesses and organization stuff. That's it. So I'm gonna get there. Just breathe, Iago, breathe. Like Sydney been having me, my daughter has been having me watch Aladdin. So I'm making all Aladdin references these days. So forgive me, y'all. But I love the bird, Iago. That's my boy. So, but it is just a matter of taking care of self. So even when we talk about, I love that you said practice makes progress, not perfection, that we are easy on ourselves, that we, remain humble, even, to ourselves. Like it is okay, to understand that, what, I'm stressing out a little bit. My anxiety is, rising, but yeah, let me at least tell myself to breathe, and let me tell myself to be easy on myself. Like, let me tell myself to be nice to myself. That's a good practice, because again, as we get to talking about this list of demands as a people, there's some practice, there's some work, there's some, there's the physical part of it. There's the noun of acknowledging, there's an issue that, we need to make a list of demands. Okay, then we move forward of the verb, like we need nouns and verbs in this movement. Like it can't just be, sitting around. We've done that long enough of just, making statements. So that's where the nouns are. There is an issue. Okay, cool. But then now the verb is doing the work of finding out, of figuring out where the issues lie. And when you realize that as you're cleaning up, your own house before you clean someone else's house, reference to Sharmika again, that we know that, you're going to expose some things and realize that you're like that big exposed radio. Make sure you're calling in, by the way, 443-642-9403, beexposedradio.com. And so we are, we have to make sure that then we separate. There's a lot of separation going on here. Speaking of separation, can I share an unpopular opinion? I'm pretty sure it's unpopular. And I don't know how much I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but I got to say it because it has been on my heart all day, right? I've been wanting to talk about this, and we're better to do it, but on the B-Mix. So, okay. I am fully aware. Y'all follow me now. I'm fully aware that, we came from, and like a part of our history includes, segregation, where it was horrific, where it was, I could only imagine, right? Just living through that. That's just like, I literally, right before starting the show just now or today, that I saw this post. It's kind of funny, but I get it, right? Is we need things that invigorate, like opinions and clear the air, right? So there was this post that said, look at the people that, are so, outraged, if you will, at the signs that say, at establishments that say, must wear mask required or whatever. And then it said, but imagine showing up to an establishment or someplace to a sign that says whites only. That's a mic drop. Like, there is nothing else to say after that. That like just made me leave. Like, yes, I could y'all imagine? But with that in mind, right? So I know that segregation was, I could only imagine that, how horrific it was to experience. And my mother has told me some stories and things. We even, have a taste of it, just of like the lingering, racism that still exists. But with separation, and again, I know it's an unpopular opinion, so just again, bear with me. What separation, because we're gonna get over from segregation, I get that. Would separation be so bad amongst people? Like, I get it. It's supposed to be the United States of America, but we know, and it's been exposed on Big Exposed Radio. Y'all like that? That obviously that ain't the case. These United States are not united. Like they're just not united. So I guess it should be called the Ununited States. Well, I'll figure out a new name. It's fine. Just call United States Brenda. I don't know. Like it just don't need to be called United States. Like let's call it Kathy or something. Like what's the name that y'all don't like? What's I don't know. But think of whoever, you have that one person, if I ever meet an Ashley or something. Like just everybody has that one name. You can't tell me that you don't. If anything, if you had that one name that you hear that for whatever reason it's an ex's name or somebody cheated on you, like what's a name that you can't stand? Like, drop some of those in the comments because I want to know. Like, and I'm telling you right now, if y'all put Benia. Anyway, no threats, sorry. But seriously, like, as a matter of fact, it might not be anybody listening or watching right now, but I definitely have, like, I'm sure it's a couple people out here that don't like, Benia. But Karen, hello. United States, this is the first name going. This is the first thing on the demand list. I know I said respect earlier, but bump respect down to 2. We need to change. We move as Black America. I guess if we want to refer to ourselves as that, right? Or the Black people, however we putting it, right? Black America, we move that United States' name be changed to Karen. Like, we're definitely the Karen of the world, ain't we? Karen. Let me stop saying it. Karen. Hate it. Okay? Damn, Karen's out here. These videos make me sick. Thank you, Kadia. Margaret. Lord have mercy. That's a name. I can't think. I think I know a Margaret in my family. She was cool. That's so good. That gives me the name of somebody to just, right? So, like, these United States are not united, right? So, would separation be so bad? Like, again, roll with me. Again, I get it. We have been fighting for equality. We've been fighting for all of that. So as we're rolling now into our list of demands as a people, that if we want equality, can it look like that, here's our Black America over here, whether if it's within states, or different cities and all that, it's a mixture. So we know, just kind of like if we think about Baltimore, like, for anybody listening that, is not from Baltimore, child, we might have to map out Baltimore for you, one of these shows coming up. Okay. Like, but if we think about Baltimore, we have Little Italy, right? We know where, the Latinos, are, right? We know most areas where, it's predominantly Black. We know the areas that are, predominantly white. Like, so would it be to where it's like, no, if that is just the case, instead of it being like, what, we need to be able to move in and be right here next, I'm okay. Why? Because let me talk about so in college, right, I was infatuated with India. Like, I still am low-key. It's still on my list, like, of places to get to. At some point, I realized, this was way before I had Sydney, I swore that, my purpose was going to be about, like, getting over to India and working on behalf of, like, women's rights and all that. Like, I'm just infatuated, just with just so much goes on there. And so one thing I learned is that, like, for prime example, I believe it's the Hindus and the Muslims, right? So, like, if they're in one area to another, or prime example, those from, like, Pakistan, right? That, would live there, they have their area. And so if someone that, like an Indian, native, crosses over, or vice versa, that's where a lot of, like, their violent wars, came from, like so many going on, like, even now. And so, like, I'm not saying it has to be to that extreme, but something of that nature. Like, it's just understood. Hey, look, we over here. Like, this us. This what's going on. This is what it's going to be. And if we have all of our own stuff, like, I know we have BET. Remember how I talked about, getting our shit together before we make any demands? That's going on, because even as Black people, we know that it's like, shout out to BET. Just, we can clean some things up, is all I'm saying. Like, we should be, the top of the top. Can we have our own, Black internet, system going on? Can we have our own, I've even talked about our own. We've heard of sports coming back. I'm sorry, not coming back, but some of them, like so with NBA talked about, some games, happening. I'm not happy about it. And I love sports, y'all. Absolutely love sports. I said this last week. I absolutely love sports. I want to see it come back. I love to watch, all different types of sports. Of course, basketball, football, but I'm talking, lacrosse. I recently got into and became more like interested in watching like track and field, like things like that going on. Like I love sports, but mm-mm. So let's get into it. So when we had Colin Kaepernick take a knee, and then with his whole movement that's been going on for years now, we were supposed to cancel the NFL. What happened? Anybody? What happened, y'all? What happened when we were supposed to cancel the NFL? We lost it, didn't we? We went right back to it. Like, and I get it, but that's how they will us in. That's why I'm disgusted at the idea of, oh yeah, we're gonna figure it out of how to bring back, some NBA games. Of course, y'all want us back shooking and jiving. Like, I get it. I get that, athletes are paid well enough, but no, can we have our own leagues? I'm going to the list of demands, and if y'all ain't realize, like, I need y'all dropping, things that we are asking for, as a people, things that we are requiring as a people that we need. And then now, so that's why when I was talking about that, as we were preparing this list, our audience, like, it's really for us. This list of demands is for us to compose and to compile and to make sure that all of us are well aware of it. Because let's go back. 2 days ago was blackout day. Anybody participate? And I didn't even post about the same thing, but I was definitely well aware of what July 7th, 2020 was from 11:59 p.m. That night before until 12:01 a.m. that morning after. Like, I was very well aware, right? And so truthfully, I don't think I spent any money at all, just in the fact that, like, I didn't want to. I was so afraid, like crazy, because I didn't want to slip up. And I actually saw this post that was good. It's a lot of good stuff out here, y'all, that we have to make sure that we are touching base on. So someone said that, as you are supporting and buying Black, are you even aware if, they are, somehow is your money still going back to the white man? That was a pretty good point. I'm not gonna lie. It shook me. I was like, ooh, okay. That's fine. So, as we are, just again making this list of demands as far as, our respect, I still am pretty serious about them changing their name to Karen. I love that. Because I'm sure it's the most hated name like in America right now, at least within our community. Like, that's just it. I feel bad for anybody. I actually know a Black Karen, so shout out to, hey, Miss Karen, love you. But I could only imagine if your name was Karen right now. Like, I know it's annoying. So what else? Like, what are we doing? Like, I need y'all, calling in 443-642-9403, calling to beexposedradio.com, and let us know. Like, let me know what it means to get to the place of, us having what we need and what we want. So like I even tossed out the idea, and I've talked about it many times, though, like I said, of our own leagues, like our Black leagues. We had that. We had baseball. We had our own league. Can we reestablish? Can we reinvigorate, some things, some movements that we had before? Because truth be told, like I said earlier, that when you are picky about your audience, I don't see us making all of these demands, to them, to the white man, to our oppressor, just demanding, saying, we want all of this and this and where's it going? Like, they're going to see that it's too much because it's too much change for them. That's what the issue is. It's way too much change. It would be too much change, that they wouldn't see that they would receive any benefit, because we know that for them, that they enjoy, riding on the coattail of our culture, yet, suppressing and oppressing us. Like, they want to keep it at a minimum, but they, want it because they like to enjoy it. And it's like, well, can we just X out the option of them being able to enjoy it? Like, no, it's ours over here. Don't worry about it, because we appreciate it and we empower it and we uplift it so much that, here we are. So, you know, that's just what I'm thinking. And y'all got to tell me what you're thinking. And so we have actually have a guest. Surprise, y'all. I don't think I did y'all? I have the host of Talk Lately, Monty, and his show is also on Be Exposed Radio. He is the producer. Whoop, whoop, come on it.
So I had no
bring
idea
him on because I got questions. Like, what are our demands? Like, what do you think our demands are, or even not even are, should be? I think we should go with that.
First of all, let's talk about how you just surprised me because I was getting ready to go. I was walking upstairs to get some to put my crabs and heat my crabs up. And
come on, crabs!
I didn't even expect for you to call me out like that, so I had to walk back down the steps and.
That's just like how they talk about when you leave out the club and they keep playing your song. You're like, all right, I'm out of here, y'all, for real. Like, all right, one more. All right, man. Like, that's my bad.
So, okay, what was your question?
So, my question is like, so as we are, trying to move forward just with the movement, right? Then what are our demands? What are we saying that, we definitely need? Who are we, directing these demands toward? Are they for us to convene and to compile this list so that way we can, start to begin to have these conversations around them, so that way we, figure out how we support ourselves and just our own, people, with, providing ourselves with what we need? Or are we, looking to our oppressor to give us, the things that we list out and say that we need as a community?
Well, there's different situations when it comes to that because
okay.
Or different positions when it comes to that, because there are some things that we need to do on our own to build and to produce.
Okay, good. Right.
But then you also can't not ask the people that have the power.
Right. Okay.
To make a change. Because we can't do it all by ourselves.
That's right. That's true.
Even with this buy black movement, that's like recycling money. You taking money, giving it to them, and then putting it back in. That's never going to grow. How can you grow from that? You're just recycling money back into your own community. You need the others. That's what, how capitalism works. You need the others to put their money in too, so we can all grow.
That's right. And that's important for us to hear that it's okay that as we, even when I, tossed out my unpopular opinion of, separation, right? That we need to hear that there's something that we need, from the others, just like you said. And I just can't help but say it's okay. Like, we have to hear that certain things that we don't want to believe or think that are not okay, that they are okay.
Right.
Like, it is.
And then we got to realize we're still a minority. We're not a lot of people when it's compared to this whole entire country of 330 million people.
It's a lot of people. Absolutely.
And that's missed opportunity and missed potential right there, if you only want to buy black.
Exactly. Very true. Very true. Because and if we keep in the essence of just how our people operate, the dynamic, and to me, one of the most beautiful things about us is that even though, we have been oppressed and, are still oppressed, right? That we are the people that can be like, okay, you did something to me, but I can even if it's in the, turn the other cheek scenario or anything like that, but we can overcome. We're resilient, but we don't come out with like a hatred. Like, we still can look to be like, oh, okay, yeah, Becky, you're invited to the cookout because you did something, for us, which it doesn't have to be that way. It really could be that, we could be ignorant, like you said, and just be, only buy black, only do black, only this. And that's not even what I'm saying. Even if we were to move into an era of, separation, that, we just have our own over here.
And then you got to think about it. Well, wouldn't that still be wouldn't you be doing the same thing that they did?
Well, we'll see. In my opinion, I believe that with the separation, that it's like a respect. There's a mutual respect there. So if it happens,
but would it be? Because you just told me I shouldn't be buying your stuff. Well, so is there a respect in that?
No, we'll see. The way I see it is that, if it is that, if we have, our own, black community over here. So even within Baltimore, right, we have Baltimore, this is the black Baltimore over here, this is the white Baltimore over here. That we know that as far as businesses, if they're operating and they are collaborating, or there are partnerships out of that, that's fine. But we know that, this just kind of stays here, that those are the parameters, never that they
But
can't
that's like saying
necessarily
tourists don't come here. That's what, that's what it sums up to. If you only want it to be in your community, you don't want nobody else to come in and buy it too. Because
Well,
that's what
right. But
that's what happens
the
with
point is that
capitalism.
it doesn't necessarily come off that way, that it's not necessarily that, but that as the black community empowers and uplifts itself, that it works more on that. And that's going to take a lot of work. So that would be our priority. But it doesn't mean that just because I am uplifting my own community that I'm saying, I can't and won't, have any actions and interactions with the others, whomever that may be, because I would see the way businesses would,
you can tell how that would be confusing to them.
Say it again.
You can tell how that would be confusing to them.
Well, right. And so my thing is, even when you move to change, that it's not going to be adopted and adapted to, overnight. Mm-hmm. That, there would be some resistance and resilience that just like there is now. I still can't believe the video of, I can believe it, but I can't believe it. Of the woman that, the white woman that poured the black paint on, it didn't even match the street. Like, girl, but she pouring the paint on the Black Lives Matter. What was that? I think, was that in Arkansas? I can't remember where that was. But she's like painting, or pouring the black paint over there to paint over the yellow Black Lives Matter, like painted on the street. And it's like, well, you're not getting it, but okay, you're not somebody to get it. So then that's when I think to bounce back, like,
it was in California.
In this area over here, let's work on, our community.
It was in California.
California, yes, it was. Thank you. Why did I say Arkansas? I don't know what. I think I read something recently, something in Arkansas, and I can't believe it was Arkansas. Oh, look. So, okay, Sharmika. So we as people need to heal and forgive. Right after slavery, we moved right into segregation and racism. Mm-hmm. We need time to grow and rebuild each other and ourselves. So there's a lot of truth there. There's the fact that we as a people need time to heal and forgive, but what are we doing in that time? Have we, really gotten to the place where we know that time has started, that we are definitely, like I was saying, that we're putting forth and like making it a priority to work on our people, to empower us first. Mm-hmm. That I think that's what I'm looking for. So even if it never really moves into like a separation per se.
I like to ask people this question too. Like from when people say that we need to heal and forgive. Mm-hmm. Our generation, ours, me and yours, what are we healing and forgiving from?
That's good. And
because we aren't the ones that dealt with segregation.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And so we're healing from, and it's the uncertainty.
I understand if you're in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, maybe you dealt with being in schools in the 60s and the 70s and had to deal with that segregation issue and that. Not saying that we don't deal with racism today, but it's not the same.
It's not. I get that. I think what we're healing from, like you said, our generation, we're healing from the fact that it was,
as we should have.
Exactly. And that a lot of that trauma was just passed on to us without us asking for it, without even our parents being aware that they passed it on to us, because they were just, learning how to survive coming from their parents that were, really coming from it, of course, and then generations
before. I always try to use the example of how they made it a demonization for you to take food, to get food stamps. They demonized the fact that you had to get Section 8.
Right. Exactly. And so that now, even within our own community, it's kind of like, you're looking down, down your nose at somebody.
And in turn, demonizing those services made them downgrade those services to being less than.
Exactly.
When the value of those services is the same as if you were buying it with your own cash. Mm-hmm. But the government is assisting you by giving you the cash, and we lost sight of that. We started calling it, thinking it was a handout. But you kind of were. Some of you were kind of owed that.
Exactly.
And if you kind of try to put that in a different light, if you used that and did not benefit from it, aren't you kind of the one at fault? You get all of these free services. Well, they're not necessarily free because the government still has to pay the leasing office for that space that you're occupying. And the food stamps is us paying for it as taxpayers to give you a pickup.
Yep. Yep. And then even more so that, moreover, it becomes the fact that of just the race that it becomes of how you have to sell yourself, or how who they select to be someone to receive these benefits.
Right.
So
and I always look at it like, it may not be enough. It may not be what you would want, but it's something. It was something to help you.
Right. And see, but then
came down on hard times,
it's the people that are trying to do, for themselves and need just that little help. And then so for the agency and the departments, they don't see that as, someone that qualifies for that help. You have to be completely piss poor for them to even consider. Like, I'll be so honest. I definitely apply because we heard so much of, and this proves, like you said, that they like demonized because we have to feel like I have to explain, like, oh, I was going to, I heard, but either way, I applied. Yes,
I would wish everybody would change their mindset when it comes to having to take government services, because
they
didn't start government service as it's not a handout. It's a service to help you socially get back on your feet.
And I paid into it, baby. I've been working since I was a baby. I've been
like, when you even talking amongst your friends, when you say social services, you can see some people's face turn up.
Right. So it's like, that's why I called myself out, that I felt like I had to explain for. It's like, oh, well, when everybody was like, look, I applied. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and it wasn't meant to be a negative thing. It's a socialist program at that. So it's not like you got to pay it back. So I think people would feel better. I don't know. Would people feel better if they had to pay it back?
That's a good question. Would we feel that it wasn't such a low thing if we had to pay it back? That's a good question.
If at the end of your cycle, at the end of your 6-month term, when you got to go do your research, and they set your ass down for a bill, would you be okay with that?
Right.
Would that make you feel better? Like, oh, I paid my contribution because I paid it back.
Right. And because if that was and I wonder, for anybody that the answer is yes to that, then why isn't it that we can flip that just in the chronological order? So it's like the fact that I paid into it already.
And remember that if you do that, you don't get that, and you did work a little bit, that you won't have that boost in your income tax return, because they're going to take that away. That's not going to be an incentive.
Exactly. Look at that, and look at the benefit. Not the benefit, but like the domino effect of just like it affects everything around. And so
it's like, what would you prefer? Take that money, have to pay it back at the end of the year, or continue to get your extra tax credits at the end of the year?
So so Monty says nope, less people will want it. Okay, because I'm thinking that.
But is that a good thing? Because then we wouldn't have much social service. You wouldn't have people on social service. Is that a good thing too?
How about that? So so back to, what are we healing from? Because Sean says we're healing from the present racism and the deaths of our people.
Right. So that's why I said I'm in two positions too, because you're in one position where we have to heal ourselves and our community, fix everything that we got going on that's wrong, murder, all that kind of stuff. And then you have the other hand of it is at the voter box, who you're going to pick as president, because that's going to, everybody keeps saying now, because now I don't like saying it no more, because we got the greater of two evils. You got to pick the greater of two evils.
Exactly.
And I don't call Joe Biden evil anymore, because his past is his past, that crime bill stuff, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to move from our past. We don't want to be a part of that stuff no more. We want equality. So you can't keep looking at somebody's past. It's about today. Now you can do a time frame in the past 5 years. What have you done? The past 10 years, what have you done? But I'm even talking about 30, 40 years ago, because everybody's mindset have changed.
It's different.
You got a different mindset from when you was in the 90s. We got a different mindset today.
Right.
What I felt about that crime bill back then actually has not, it didn't stay the same.
Right. And it wasn't supposed to. And
because I grew up in the 90s. I was around a bunch of shootouts and stuff like that, and the crack wars, and I used to go around all day on my Facebook page saying crackhead alert and taking pictures of people on the street.
Exactly.
I thought it was embarrassing.
And that would let's say right there, that within itself, I actually know someone that mother has been using like for a while now, and that I think more recently like before Corona and all, probably sometime like last year, it had gotten back to being pretty bad. And so just in dealing with that alone, just with what all that comes with of being that supportive, relative, but that was her mother. So of course, of just all that she would have to deal with that. But then someone, and I remember as we worked together, and so we were at work, and someone had taken a picture and had done just that, and that it circulated. And I mean, to physically witness and observe the breakdown, like the emotional breakdown and impact that had on her, just from someone like taking a picture and posting her mother, and then it got
oh
back
my gosh,
to her.
I hope it wasn't me.
I know. Honey, don't get on my nerves. I don't think it was you. In my mind, I'm trying to picture like, okay, I saw the post, so I wanted to, but I don't think it was.
Circulated the internet too, so it may have been me. Sorry. Did you get help?
But, oh God, Monty, I really hope. I'm only laughing at the point that you said, I hope it wasn't me. But to witness that, it even made me questions. I'm sure I've done it. Like, I'm sure I've posted somebody or something, and
but that was my feeling back then, though. That's what I was getting at. That was my feeling back then. Today, I'm in a different position where I hope you get in recovery or you're on your way to doing it. This was your last time. I'm in a different position. So that's why I say when it comes to that, his past history, Biden's past history, that stuff doesn't matter because we believed because we thought he was somebody different too when he was with Obama. So we can't actually deny him his credit due for what he did in those 8 years to now. Because all you got to do is you need just a pendulum. Which one is it? Is it you think Trump is better or you think Biden is better? Come on. How do you feel? Are we not in this position today during the Trump administration? So there's your answer.
It was the same crossroad that I believe that it seemed like a consensus of how people thought that choosing between was it Trump? Who was that? So but I couldn't get my words together. Choosing between Hillary. Like it was the people felt the same way. They were like, well, which one?
But the problem with the Hillary thing is the black folk decided not to come outside that day. They thought it was Corona back then.
Right.
On November 8th, my actual birthday, y'all sat y'all asses in the house with coronavirus because y'all had the feeling it was coming 3 years before.
Right, 3 years before. They just said they had insight.
Right. And now we got this. And now y'all suffering. And this is exactly why, because you need to vote.
And then I hope, and that brings up a good point that I always think about, is that I hope that I've said this, that I hope that we've learned our lesson. Like, I absolutely hope that we have, gotten to a place where,
well, as long as they keep protesting, if they keep protesting, stay in them streets, the polls will be open. So you go vote. While you protesting, take your sign with you.
I sure hope so. But here's the thing, we can fall up pretty easily because if we really think about it, the momentum has definitely taken a dip. Like
it has. But it's good that it's taking a dip because then where they are. Unfortunately, they're at the hospital. But yeah, I just wanted to say that part.
I don't. So okay. So if it's taking a dip, and you said it's kind of a good thing, why do you think it's a good thing? I'm curious.
Because it couldn't have stayed in all those mass people for long because people got to go back to work because their jobs and stuff is open. And if you get caught seen on TV at a protest and you're supposed to be at your 8 p.m. job, then you're already fired. So I'll see you tomorrow. And nobody wants that to happen.
Right. I done lost this battle for us, y'all, because now I'm fine.
But at least the consistency is still there. It's still happening every single day. It may not be as mass until Saturday when everybody else comes back out.
Exactly.
I can't be there Monday because I got to work.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly why I was curious as to, just why you thought it was, a good thing. I also said the same thing.
No, we need to still keep that presence going because I thought it was going to be over in 7 days.
I did.
But they're still continuously coming out. They're still in front of Vince's Crab House.
and so that brings me to my point. Thank you. And actually, let me share this comment first before I get to that point. So I'm gonna finish reading Sean's comments. I read half of it actually. So it was that we are healing from the present racism and the deaths of our people. Are healing from deaths of our people being killed. Blackface is still going on, and they're undermine people who drag us through the mud. And then he also said that we are going to pay back tax time.
That's true
You know,
too.
if that
Yep.
is so,
You're not gonna
yes,
get a
right,
refund. You owe.
right, exactly, right.
Because that's what's
And
going to happen at the research after the 6 months when they tell you got this bill. They were like, you can pay on it. You can start paying on it now, but
right,
it's going to
right.
be at the
Oh
end of
no,
your tax
baby.
return as well.
Exactly. And then it said the world just needs some kind of motivation and meditation. So then that's a good way to, I guess, a good segue into when you brought up like Vince's Crab House, because this is really, it was one of the main reasons, no, one of the reasons on the list. And it might be a continuation into like next week and then mix that up as in like our topics as we get into next week. But um it- y'all, I get it. We canceled Vince's Crab House. Okay. Like again, I know we were just talking about the protest. We want the consistent presence and all, but let's pick our battles. Like once if we cancel them, y'all, then we cancel them. Here's my thing.
They
My
ain't
take on it
canceled
is
yet. They still open up every day.
right, and which is I get it, and to me, it that is fine because if we have canceled as a people, as the Black community, if we have canceled this particular establishment, then it should be us that did it now, or anybody that any of our allies, anybody that supports us in our movement. But we can't necessarily say that they're people, their fellow oppressors, like that they are, not going to support them. They might even probably supporting him more. And now he has like a case. And I'm curious as to how that's going to end up. But I think I have a pretty good idea that they're going to win something. Like just because I think to me, after a while, it got to be a little outrageous. Like just leave that alone. If we have canceled it, then let's be. And to me, that was a sure sign of why we need to make a list of demands and to be very clear about what our demands are. And then as we, like you said, it is both sides. So it is clearing up and making our list of demands within our community, empowering, ourselves there, and just becoming very knowledgeable of what our list of demands are, so that way as we continue to even work through the rest of COVID, through everything about just the movement, that we know how to act accordingly. And then what we always say anyway, because the fact that people took the time to keep going back and protest and all that, it truthfully, if we were at the place that we know that if we have canceled something, it's canceled, we wouldn't have felt the need to go back there multiple times. It would have just been canceled. Like prime example, exes do not matter to me. Once we have cut off whatever we were doing at some point, like, and that then now it's just obsolete. Like it doesn't, the limit does not exist. Like that is like my favorite quote from Mean Girls. Like it just does not. It does. It's obsolete now. It doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. It's out of mind, out of sight. As soon as we said back then that we would cancel NFL, it was hard. I will be honest, but I always keep in mind of what the bigger picture is, the movement. So if the idea is not to support this because it says this to these people in order in all of it to come to our benefit of them understanding that our rights, or that we understand our rights, and that we are
Yeah, but see,
demanding
I don't think they're trying to understand his rights because he already showed who he was. They're not trying to understand him.
Right.
So
I
that's
get
why
that.
I don't think they're persistently going after him, because he keeps coming out with these. I can't. They're not apologies, because I've never heard him say, "I'm actually
Right,
sorry."
exactly. Never. He's never once apologized.
He
Right.
tries to
He
explain
addressed.
himself. He brought up the fact that he had a Black friend growing up. What's that? That doesn't mean anything.
His favorite.
He's the only one that you didn't see his color.
It's like, look, oh, I got a Black friend.
Right,
See,
right. That's
I got a
in.
friend.
I mean, he went through a whole diatribe of like, we got locked up together, and what side of the jail were you on? Is what I had. My question would have been, you know.
Exactly. But even still, even if you were mixed in, what privileges and what
But
benefits?
but they always sector off in prison. They sector
True,
off.
true. But even still, even if you were mixed in, because I really tried to paint a picture of like, okay, I'm gonna try to ride with what you're painting me. I already know it's bullshit, but
Because
I'm
you
gonna try to
always
ride
tend to lean
with
to
what
who you look like, who looks like you. So, and
absolutely.
that's the
But
big thing in
even if
prison.
you were mixed in, my thing is even still, what benefits did you reap, and what privileges did you receive and experience that you probably weren't even aware of, because that's what that privilege is. Privilege doesn't even allow you to see beneath your nose. Like it just doesn't. It just allows you to see right here. Yep, I'm in privilege world, and that's it. right? And so again, just when we are concerned, so now everybody leaving tonight with homework. Like y'all got to come back next week, or comment throughout the week, up until next week's show, on this post here to let me know of what we are putting. What are we to include on our list? And then, or do we need more than one list? Do we need, because of the audience? Like, are we saying that, to them, we demand this, but for us, we expect us to do this. Just like for me, I expect us, once something is canceled, it is canceled. Y'all, I don't want to see no more Gucci belts. I'm sick of it. Didn't we cancel Gucci? Didn't we cancel Gucci? So even the fake, even the knockoffs, it sickens me. Like I've seen people, they have a Gucci mask. I've seen, for Father's Day, somebody received a Gucci wallet. I'm like, so damn, we even going to go buy new Gucci? Y'all was struggling to put down, your old Gucci or Fucci, but damn, we gonna go buy new. So we support. We giving them money right now.
I think it's because Gucci posted Black Lives Matter, so everybody was like, okay, all right, they all right.
And that's exactly why I wanted to address the fact that we have to make a list. We have to get to the point where we are clear about what we're asking for, because
check your comment.
Not be so easily fooled. We can't be naive. We are way beyond the years of Black people being naive. We cannot be so naive that as these companies, started, saying something. Oh, hey, look, here's my Black friend. Hey, we got some Black writers or some Black people here supporting us and doing this. So, hey, y'all, let me make this little statement. We can't fall for all of it. Some things I can take it. Some things, actually, some companies and organizations that put some things out there. It's like, okay, this might be good enough. All right, I guess.
Check your comments.
What am I to expect? You said what?
Check your comments.
Okay, so before we get out of here in 3 minutes, okay, thank you, Imani. So honestly, been feeling like we are fighting two fights. Okay, I'm Black and a woman fighting for my people, male and female, young and old, and fight socially as a generation who deserves better as far as politics. Okay, I get that, and so then that's a good point to be made, that there's more than one fight, or that there's the overall war, right? Because we'll say that, you might have lost this battle, but, I win the war, right? We know that phrase. So that's like when I was saying, when you mentioned, Monty, of like, if we are, like if I'm out here, protesting when I need to be working, I lost my job. Look, I done lost that little battle within the war. Like, y'all, I'm supposed to,
because I'm protesting is not an excuse for
right.
work.
I need to keep my presence, right, and be able to hold, handle myself and hold myself down and be held accountable.
It's only an excuse if you're protesting your job.
Right. Exactly.
Not in the general public. It's not
exactly. And so that is the case, that it's one war, but multiple battles. And so that's again why we need to visit that and really break that down. And so, like I said, this might be a continuation into next week of just being very clear about, so for this, circumstance or here on this side, this is what we're demanding, from whom, for what, and then over here for us, this is what we're demanding. Why? We're the people that need to know why. Once we are clear about the why, all we have to do is convey and relay the message of what to whom. We don't even have to explain the why, because we'll be so solid in the why that it just goes without, having to necessarily say. Last few comments before we get out of here is no one has privileges, just, white supremacy. Okay. I think that's the privilege within itself right there. Just white privilege is what we call it, that fuels white supremacy. And then there's and then there's multiple lists connected. Okay, to Monty's last post, absolutely multiple lists. So that's the thing that we need to map out. Is that we need to make sure that for, I guess, each battle that we identify, because we don't need to enter into any battle that is not ours, right, or is not for us. So we're picking and choosing our battles in order to be victorious after the war. And hopefully we're looking forward to, in hopes of after the war, the better life after that. So with all of that in mind, with all of these different perspectives, thank you all so much for tuning into the second episode of the B-Mix show right here on BeExposedRadio.com. Thank you for all the love and the support so far. I appreciate it. Let's keep talking. Let's keep listening. Let's keep tuning in. Like, share, and comment on this video. Like I said, throughout the remainder of the week, leading up until next week, so that way we can pick this right back up and talk about a few other things next week. I love you, love you, love you. Remember, always the B Mix is the place where you come to be the mix that you are. Continue to be there always. Love you and light. Bye.